Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today I've finally decided to give you exactly what you want. I've decided to cede to your collective wishes and provide you with the information you really desire. So, finally here it is, a brief history of crayons.
Warning! This video may not be entirely factually accurate.
To discover the origin of crayons, one has to go back as far as the 13th century in France, and a little-known Franciscan monk named Benjamin. Just Benjamin, no last name. He was like Jason. In more ways than one, actually. He had green hair. There he was, toiling away, transcribing his Bible, when he realised that he could achieve beautiful, colourful effects by dripping the wax from his candle on the page. But after a few mishaps with loose-fitting robes, he realised that just writing with the bottom end of the candle worked just as well. And so the writing candle was born. For the first 50 years they were all green, the colour of that particular monk's order. It wasn't until a comedian called Gandalf Whizlock started mucking around in the 1290s that everyone realised you could have any colour you wanted. So there people would sit, burning the candle at one end and writing with the other. They'd light their page and scribble on it all at once. So elegant, so efficient, so convenient was this new invention that it spread like wildfire across the world. Except Asia. Oddly, it never caught on there. But the use of these writing candles became so widespread across Europe that when Michelangelo was asked to paint the Sistine Chapel, he immediately threw away the selection of paints provided to him by the Catholic Church, paid for by the Pope, and used his trusty writing candles to create his greatest masterpiece. Indeed, if you visit the Sistine Chapel today, you can still see the droplets of wax on the floor from his various drippings. Magical! By the 17th century, the use of writing candles had become so popular in London that the Thames was renamed the Wax Canal. Up to 94% of the boat traffic along the river was dedicated to the transportation of these colourful devices, which had become so popular in everyday use for paupers and princes alike. A young King James even wrote his name in his first Bible in royal blue. But of course all good things must come to an end, and the use of writing candles came to a dramatic end in 1666 with the well-known story of the Fire of London. There Samuel Pepys was, writing his diary in the admittedly controversial colour of Phoenix Red. He was momentarily distracted by the smell of cheese, just long enough to set fire to his hair. He tried to drop and roll, but that just set fire to the rug. He tried to stamp it out, but that just set fire to his shoe. He tried to throw his shoe out of the window, but he caught the curtain on the way past, and soon all of London was ablaze. The use of writing candles was banned. Of course, almost immediately an illicit trade started up, and black market prices soared through the roof. In fact, there wasn't a roof, because it had been burned off, so they just went woo! Of course, it being a black market, the only colour available was black, but people still loved using them. Unfortunately, the lack of regulation led to bigger and bigger wicks, and smaller writing surfaces. People had accidents left, right and centre, singeing off their ears and blistering their chins. By the 1800s, writing candles had all but been eradicated from civilised life. But a bright spark called Vincent van Gogh realised something no one had ever considered before. "Why not just take the wick out?" he said in his excellent Dutch accent. After various experiments, he came up with what we now know as crayons, and used them in many of his greatest masterpieces. Later, as an homage to the great Van Gogh, Pablo Picasso painted this picture inspired not by the face of a weeping woman, but by an old box of Crayola he found lying around at work when he was still doing his day job at McDonald's, you remember. And since then, the use of the wickless crayon, to give it its full name, has gone from strength to strength. We now use them for everything, from children's drawings to other children's drawings, and kids' drawings and young people's drawings alike. Also sometimes for keeping ourselves entertained at restaurants when we've got nothing to talk about. So God love the crayon. Let's all just have a moment of silent contemplation for an implement which has survived the odds to become a staple of modern life if you're under 5. Actually, let's not have a moment of silence. That's too somber for a lovely, exciting thing like this. Let's just have an end clip instead.
I am your son! I am your son!